A warm welcome to the fast, the furious and the downright curious. I'm Phil Lovett and this is Bike Racing Without Mercy, my quest to win an e-cycling race on Zwift. Now today I'm going to be focusing on some of the on-bike base fitness training, but in future videos I'm also going to mix in some nutrition, strength training and other forms of bike training, all in the time-honoured quest of more power, less weight and more speed. Now I have to confess that I am just back from the gym where I've trained chest and back, the beach muscles, and yes, my vanity does know no bounds. Also, I raced yesterday by accident and intend to race tomorrow for my inaugural race on YouTube. So I'm looking for a training program that kind of helps me build some base fitness but doesn't burn me out. So in order to conduct the training today, I'm going to have a look at some of Zwift's training programs. And when you go into the training section, you'll see that there's a wide variety on offer. But many of them require you to undertake an FTP test, which is a functional threshold power test to assess how much power you can sustain over an hour. So earlier this week I undertook one of Zwift's shorter FTP tests, and that entails, as you'll see on the screen, a warm-up followed by 3 30-second kind of low-level sprints, a little bit more recovery, and then a hard effort for 5 minutes followed by 6 minutes of recovery. And then comes the main test, where you sustain as much power as you can over the next 20 minutes. And you'll see in the footage that over that 20-minute period I was able to sustain 302 watts. And then Zwift calculates your FTP by taking 95% of that 302 watts, and for me that's 287 watts. And in theory, I say in theory, I should be able to sustain that 287 watts for exactly an hour. Now that would require me to have an extraordinarily good day, and it would be pretty emotional. Anyway, armed with my 287 FTP and having burnt a very handy 665 calories, Zwift is able to automatically calculate what power outage I should be having for all of its different training programs, and that enables me to select one for use today. Now, because I've been to the gym and I want to race tomorrow, as I say, I'd like something that doesn't burn me out, and I rather like the sweet spot training, which basically takes my functional threshold power of 287 and ensures that I train below that in order to keep me nice and fresh for tomorrow. So you'll see on the screen that the short sweet spot training, which is about 50 minutes in duration, the meat of the session keeps me well below my functional threshold power, which is being rounded up to 290 watts here. And for a bit of added sort of variety, it has you a little bit closer to the 290 and a little bit further away for recovery, and it makes for a very, very nice and enjoyable ride. So time to work out. So the initial workout has you warming up nice and gently, building up to a nice little cadence of 90 to 95 RPM and getting the legs ready for action. This should all feel super easy and super enjoyable. Trying to get a nice even press down on the pedals, nice circles. Try and minimise the dead points in the pedalling. Now you'll see on the screen that there's something called ERG mode, and that's on. And that basically means that Zwift, through my smart bike, will automatically calibrate the resistance for me to hit the target watt level. So today's video is going to show a few clips of some of the weight and strength training I've done, hopefully to help me build some power and remove some imbalances. Now I know there is a school of thought in cycling that says weight training, that makes me bulk up and get too heavy, and it's going to be counterproductive to the cycling. I say that as a natural bodybuilder, up until about 2016, it's really difficult to build muscle. And so I'm quietly confident that my little old ectomorphic body frame, combined with all this cardio, is going to be preventing me from bulking up too much. Anyway, we're about to get into the main bulk of the training, and I'll talk when I can. This is still quite challenging. So I've gone through the first of the 5-minute start points, aiming for 280 watts. ERG mode helping me sustain that. I've also turned on the fan because when you're cycling indoors, you obviously don't get the rush of wind in your face, and it's very easy to kind of overheat. This should feel real nice. This should allow me to focus on my pedal strokes. And my heart rate will probably, for me, gradually rise up to about 170 beats a minute. I've decided to do today's training on just a protein shake and some coffee. I quite like doing that, and for reasons that I'll come to in future videos, I'll explain why I think that helps shed body fat and train the body to better use fat tissue as a source of energy. Coming to the final minute of my first sweet spot interval at 5 minutes at 280, and you can see it's quite hard work but manageable. My heart rate's 165, and I'm going to get a little 5 minutes at a slightly lower intensity, which will be very well. So I'm not going to subject you to minutes and minutes and minutes of the training footage here. And Greg and the team at IGL Films, who are helping me edit this, will work in a little montage of some of the other training I've been doing this week. I'll report back shortly. Now coming to the second of the two markers to start my second 280 watt 5-minute interval. Got a nice little sweat on, legs feel nice. I let the ERG mode gradually bring the power up to the 280. No need to overthink things.
Coming to the fourth of the 5-minute section at 280 watts. Feeling good, but my heart rate is quite high at 177 to 180. I'll regroup in a minute.
I've just finished a sweet spot training. It was probably a little bit more intense than I'd envisaged, and unfortunately the GoPro battery cut out mid-ride. So you'll see my sign off during one of the 255 watt intervals at the very end of this video. You'll also see all the in-game footage right now, or highlights of it anyway. It's also just a very quick note to say that if you like your stats, your beats per minute, your power, etc., please do download Zwift Companion and follow me and peruse all of my data at your leisure.
None of my training videos are intended to be advice. Let me reiterate, this is not advice. You do whatever it is you want to do. But whoever you are, and whatever you do, please remember to live, thrive, and subscribe.